Hey, 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 happy Friday. Come on in, pull up a chair. The Daily Dope is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Yes, I'm Jeff McAleer, back once again as your host here at The Daily Dope, presented by thegaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the Grand Poobah. I am the editor, founder, editor-in-chief. I'm pretty much the jack of all trades. So come on in, relax. Tonight is Friday, September 20th. This is episode 366 of the Daily Dope. So, I'm not sure how many people we're going to have floating around in chat tonight, but I do want to point out that this is a live stream. So if you are watching the show after the fact for the first time, keep in mind this is very, very casual. I just talk tabletop gaming news. And of course, I also have videos which are unboxings and reviews and whole bunch of different stuff. But for the Daily Dope right now, I am simply keeping it to the tabletop gaming news of the day. So anyway, do want to point out chat is available on YouTube. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways that I keep some of these stranger commenters at bay, but I do pay attention to the chat. So if you'd like to say howdy, or maybe you've got a question, by all means fire away. I will respond. Of course, if you like the video, please give it a quick thumbs up. If you check out some of the videos on the channel, by all means, please subscribe. And if you do subscribe, don't forget, ring that little bell, because not only will that notify you when the stream does go live, it'll also tell you when I upload standalone videos as well. So, the Madman is here on a Friday night, hanging out. Good to see you, Madman. So hopefully the sound is in sync. You know what? Sound levels look like they're a little too high, so I'm going to back that off a little bit, just a touch. So, hopefully the sound is in sync and everything. That's why I was a couple minutes late. I was messing around with the sound levels. I have also been kind of playing around a little bit with the audio quality. So I'm sure this is not going to be the settings that I end up at, but I'm trying to kind of boost the vocal aspect of the show just a little bit. Anyway, do want to also mention, by outside of just subscribing to the channel here at YouTube, don't forget, visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. And be sure to tell a friend. In fact, tell two friends. So got a bit of news tonight. This is probably going to be a little bit shorter show. Probably around 30 minutes is my guess. We have been running about 40 minutes lately, which is kind of interesting because we've just been doing news lately. We haven't done any unboxings or reviews as part of the show, so I think more people are kind of asking questions in chat as opposed to usually when I'd be doing, you know, the unboxings and stuff like that. Do have to point out, it is warm in the Chicago area today, and it's kind of humid. It is way more humid tonight down here in the Duct Tape Studios. Or now, I guess I can call it the PVC Pipe Studios. Because I got a lot of PVC pipe now doing things. So the Madman says he is outside of Detroit, and it's warm there too. Yeah, we're getting a little last-minute heat wave, I guess. I'm not complaining. I'm not going to complain. But anyway, let's kind of get into it, because WizKids has a new game that has just arrived. If you are a fan of Jules Verne, you're going to be interested to know that Nemo Rising, Robe the Conqueror, is actually now available from WizKids, and I've got the dope. Experience daring adventures! Okay, I promise I won't pronounce adventures that way throughout Little news piece. Anyway, experience daring adventures with Captain Nemo and the crew of the Nautilus in Nemo Rising: Robe the Conqueror. WizKids is excited to announce that Nemo Rising: Robe the Conqueror, a cooperative adventure game based on C. Courtney Joyner's thrilling sequel to Jules Verne's. Come on, words come out of your mouth, Jeff. Just let those words come out. The sequel to Jules Verne's classic novel is now available in North American game stores. In this exciting 1-to-4 player adventure game, players become members of a reimagined version of the Nautilus's heroic crew and must carry out missions in order to successfully complete the requirements of one of two scenarios: the undersea grotto or the city in the sky. Each scenario represents a location which is unique with its own geography, environment, and adventure. Game ends and the heroes win if they complete all of their mission goals, secure at least 4 adventure tiles, and then return to the start space. That doesn't sound all that exciting. All heroes must be on the start space at the same time in order for them to win. The heroes lose, however, if they run out of mission points on the mission track. With its exciting and unpredictable adventures, Nemo Rising: Robe the Conqueror is the perfect way to experience the escapades of Captain Nemo and his crew directly from the captain's seat. Board the Nautilus and pick up Nemo Rising: Robe the Conqueror from your friendly local game store or online today. Are you up for the adventure? Do want to mention, Nemo Rising: Robe the Conqueror is for 1-to-4 players, as mentioned previously. It's for ages 14 and up, plays in around 30 to 60 minutes, and it does carry an MSRP of $59.99. So this is based on a sequel, which I was offered the opportunity to review this book, Nemo Rising. Yes, amazingly enough, somebody reached out. This was before this game was being designed. They reached out and asked me if I wanted to review the book, and I kind of peeked around to see what people were saying about the book, and I don't know. But I gotta say, it's kind of cool. Ulysses S. Grant is one of the characters you play in this. Pretty bizarre. You can see him right there on the cover of the box. Dan from No Enemies here is in the house. It's a Friday night. Better race through this news, because he's only got so much time he can hang out. So let's get to it. My next news piece has to do with, well, there was this disastrous Space Goat Games Kickstarter, which was for the Evil Dead 2 board game, which people don't want to talk about. But, gotta say, Lynn Vander Studio and Jasco Games are actually bailing people out because I've got the dope on the Evil Dead 2, the board game. You know how it is. You get together with your friends and decide to have a nice weekend in the woods. Maybe head up to the cabin, go for a walk in the woods. No city, no distractions, just some time with your mates and your girl. Groovy. And then some evil darkness decides to crash your party, possessing people. And before you know it, the dead start rising from the ground, looking for this magic book, perhaps just a tasty snack. The only hope to stop them is to find that book ourselves and seal the portal near the cabin. But be careful, cause the evil can get in you and turn you bad. And the evil has its own plan for the portal, wanting to open it up and release deadites onto the world. It's down to us to save the world. Evil Dead 2, the board game, is a wild romp through the classic cult film. Players fend off deadites, search the cabin for items and Necronomicon pages, and attempt to close the portal before evil is unleashed upon the world. But beware, you can't trust everyone, and at a moment's notice, you might find that your allies are working for evil. For evil! The Evil Dead 2 board game is for 3 to 6 players, ages 14 and up. Plays in around an hour. It's going to carry an MSRP in the area of about $80. And there's an extras box, which will arrive at the same time. It is more miniatures. I don't think it expands the player count or anything like that. I think it's mainly miniatures. This extra box will carry an MSRP of $40. Both of these are set to arrive next summer because Jasco Games or Jasco Games just wrapped up their Kickstarter last week, 2 weeks ago, something about that. So I got to admit, I think it's pretty cool that what they're doing is if you backed the Space Goat Games Kickstarter for their Evil Dead 2 game, which this is different. This is a different game, not the same exact game. Anyway, they're going to give you a copy of this game. So I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was very, very nice. Kabuki Kid is in the house as well. Good to see you, Double K. Happy Friday. Always kicking back, getting ready for the weekend. So, next up, Action Phase Games and Indie Boards and Cards have released the latest addition to the Aeons End lineup. I've got the dope. Aeons End is a cooperative game that explores the deck-building genre with a number of innovative mechanisms, including a variable turn order system, which simulates the chaos of an attack, and deck management rules that require careful planning with every discarded card. Players will struggle to defend Gravehold from the Nameless and their hordes using unique abilities, powerful spells, and most importantly of all, their collective wits. Aeons End, the New Age, introduces the Expedition system into the Aeons End universe, allowing players to replay all of the content they own in a short campaign format. After each game, players will receive new treasures and player cards that allow them to become more powerful. However, the nemesis that players will face grow stronger and stronger with each battle. Aeons End, the New Age, is a standalone expansion that is compatible with all of the other standalone games. All content can be mixed and matched for exciting new combination. Aeons End, the New Age, is for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 and up, plays in about an hour, and it does carry an MSRP of $59.99. Very cool. Gotta like that. I reviewed the core game for Aeons End. It was about a month and a half ago, thereabouts. We really enjoyed it. We've actually played it since then, which is saying something for a game if it comes back off the shelf for us to play. I do want to mention there are, I believe, 3 new expansions on the horizon as well for Aeons End. I will talk about those on Monday. So the Madman says, wouldn't it be nice if someone did the same that that Jasco Games is doing as far as the Terminator game that Space Goat kickstarted? There's only so much people can do. There's only so much. And yes, it is true that, unfortunately, there are Kickstarters out there that, sucker a lot of people in. And you know what makes me a bit leery? And there are some companies that can pull it off, don't get me wrong. But there are some companies out there that usually, if they wrap up one Kickstarter and then boom, they start another one like right on top of it, that makes me very, very leery of them, regardless if they're an established company or not. Now, Space Ghost, I started to say Space Ghost. Damn you, Space Ghost! Taking that Kickstarter money, bastard. I'm gonna get the Herculoids on his ass. That's what I'm gonna do. Track him down. Go get him, Gleep! Anyway, Space Goat Games. Yeah, they weren't really established. I didn't know anything about them. And I gotta be honest, when I remember I did get an email asking me if I would share the info about the Evil Dead 2 Kickstarter, and I could swear I don't recall posting it because it looked kind of bleh. So, yes. Sorry, Madman. I don't think anybody is going to pick up the ball that was fumbled for Terminator and run with that. You know who's another company that I believe they have delivered on their games, but I won't share really any news about is River Horse. Because their games just... everybody says they're just awful. So, don't know. What can I tell you? All right, let's get back to the news. Because Monkeyfun Studios, there's just something about monkeys lately, right? Every company's got a monkey kind of name. There was a Blood Monkey, wasn't it? Wasn't it Blood Monkey Studio? Anyway, Monkeyfun Studio has released a new volume of greatest adventure hits for the Spirit of 77 role-playing game. Here's the dope. Spirit of 77 is bringing you Greatest Hits Volume 2. 6 of your favorite Spirit of 77 adventures brought together into one compilation. That's right. We should get like an 8-track kind of thing going, right? Like, you know, hey, it includes all these hits and just have the scroll going past. It includes, it's a small world after all. Grab your giant ears, comrade. We're taking a trip to the greatest theme park of them all, Digbyland. Smiles, everybody, smile. Your greatest fantasies are being turned into your worst nightmare in this body-snatching extravaganza. Nightmare at 77,000 feet. Please return to your seat. Please return your seat to the upright position. We're about to embark on a deadly confrontation with an angry spirit. All the Antichrist's men, political thrillers, conspiracy theories, satanic children, and a guy selling ice cream. Just another day at the park. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, saddle up for a high-tech hijinks of the Old West variety with dangerous bank robbers and a nutritious breakfast. Super fast, go! What have you always wanted in a Spirit of 77 adventure? That's right, a giant samurai robot. This compilation does contain the previously published adventures in double features number 4 through 6. Can you dig it? You can snag the 114-page Spirit of 77 Greatest Hits Volume 2 in PDF from DriveThruRPG for $16. Yes. I gotta say, I like Spirit of 77. So, weird as this sounds, Spirit of 77 is actually the first powered by the Apocalypse game, including Apocalypse World, that I ever checked out. How about that, huh? That's a little bizarre, isn't it? You think out of like Dungeon World, Apocalypse World, Monster Hearts. No, Spirit of 77. And I think, you know, I get a kick out of it. I think it really does work with that the Apocalypse engine really, really nicely too. And you can do things where it's kind of like a 70s exploitation film. I was trying to see if you know, the different kinds of exploitation film, like horror and, you know, or you can kind of just go straight for like the wacky kind of 70s vibe action movies and stuff like that. So really, really like it. And gotta say, 6 adventures, that's pretty sweet. That is a pretty sweet deal. So, also talking about DriveThruRPG, my final news piece is about Saving Throw Fanzine, because they've got a fundraiser fanzine that's to help James D. Kramer of Usherwood Publishing. I've got the dough. You may know Jim Kramer from his Usherwood Publishing modules and supplements, or his work helping produce works like Osric and Knockspell. You probably didn't know Jim had multiple brain surgeries to remove tumors, and the battle has gotten much harder. To help Jim and his family during this difficult time, a group of his friends, collaborators, and first edition enthusiasts banded together to make his fundraiser fanzine, where all royalties will go directly to Jim and his family. This 60-plus page issue of Saving Throw contains an introduction by Ron Yeah, I think it is Redmond. Taking a guess at that. Island Tables, Random Generation and Inspiration Tool by Steve Smith. Sorcerer's Stone, a dungeon level by Keith Sloan. Trolls of the Simpolo Swamps. Bleach Mated Trollish Variations by Joseph Browning. There's Perladon Manor, an adventure module by Gabor Lux. By the Runes, which is fiction by Dan Rashaya. Magic Item Intrinsic Material Values, which are rules by Guy Fullerton. There's the Goblin Garbug Cavalry, a new monster by Andrew Hamilton. The Tile Labyrinth, a mini dungeon by Guy Fullerton. Lotus Blossoms, magical and special properties of these exotic flora by Keith Sloan. Burley the Baker, ready to use NPC and cantrips by Gary Francisco. Dark World Troll, another new monster by Brian Fazekas. Offig's Tomb, a treasure map by Steve Smith. Lizard Man Lair, an outdoor module and new monsters by Steve Smith. There's the Mephitic Geysers of the Enchangelia Rift, which is a treasure map by Alan T. Groh. The Mirror Beneath, which is a dungeon level by Guy Fullerton, Alan T. Groh, and Henry A. Groh. There's Serinda's Crew and Terlunan's Crew, ready to use NPC parties by Alan T. Groh. Junior, I'm forgetting to say Junior again. Rescue from the Sanctuary of the Leopard Goddess, a dungeon module by Matthew Rydell. And it features illustrations by Jim Johnson, James D. Kramer, Wendell Lothamer, Gabor Lux, Dennis McCarthy, Peter Zimmer, I think, Del Tregeler, and Alex Zeish. And of course, I guarantee I have mispronounced at least 60% of those names. I do apologize. But hey, I'm sharing news about a good cause. Because for the lucky price of $13, you get 2 treasure maps, 3 referee tools, 5 new spells, 6 modules, at least 9 new monsters, 12 ready-to-use NPCs, and more. Plus the knowledge that your purchase actually helps a family during a difficult time. So, this is available in PDF. Do want to point out there is a print version that's available soon as well. And if you do purchase the PDF, you will get a discount code if you would like to get the print version. So you can score the Saving Throw Fanzine Special Edition PDF. It is, I believe, 64 pages. It is $13 at Drive-Thru RPG. So if you are not familiar with Jim Kramer, what I what I know of his work is I have it's the Bonehilt Sword campaign, which is like a 5-part adventure. Really good. It's a really good adventure. It is for Osric, which folks out there know Osric. Well, if you don't know what Osric, it's kind of a rewritten first edition. So, and David K has arrived and popped into chat. Good to see you, David K. Welcome aboard. But yes, Jim Kramer's done loads and loads of RPG stuff. Come on, it's you know, I have heard through the grapevine by I'm not going to say who, but by someone who is actually pretty well known as far as old school Renaissance reviews, and they said that this is actually an excellent the adventures in this fanzine are excellent. They're really, really good. And this reviewer is a real stickler. So if they say it's something good, it's got to be way beyond just average stuff. So there we have it. That is the news for today. Hopefully the audio is a little bit different tonight than it usually is. The lighting is a little different too because I'm still playing around. So I thought I'd do it where, you know, there's a little bit of shadow, got a little bit of shadow going on, as opposed to just, you know, just everything like white, you know, like really bright. So yeah, you know, just still playing. I am really bouncing around getting this other camera too because I want to have 2 cameras. Because I did build a new overhead rig for shooting overhead video, you know. So So Dan from No Enemies Here says, it looks good. Well, we know it's a lot clearer. There is no doubt about that. And here's the funny thing is, it's actually way sharper than you get to see it because, A, it's a stream. I can't stream at really high kilobit rates. And also, YouTube does their own compression. So, yeah. Yes, Kabuki Kid is correct. More black backdrop and black clothing. I agree. And then I'll go get a job at Pandasaurus Games, just starting in all their videos to talk about games and that. That is exactly what I'll do. And I'll make sure all the game boxes are black with maybe like a dark navy blue art style on it, like the logos and that. So Flaming Heron's popped in. Says, well, it's not too bright or too dark, so it's just right. I don't know. I think it might be a little too bright on this side. I want to maybe back off the light that I've got over here. But yes, this is all now soft lighting, and it shouldn't be so harsh. Although I got to admit, it's really tough to not get glare on the stuff that's behind me. It's nearly impossible. It really, really is. I'm almost tempted to kind of move further out and see what I can do. Have a little more space between. Although there is actually a bit of space here. Right? I'm not like right on top of this stuff behind me, but I might consider maybe pushing this back a little bit because then I can pull in my studio lighting at a kind of a different angle over here, and maybe even do some lighting behind me to light the games and stuff. So we'll see what's going on. Hubcam 210 is popping in right at the end of the show. So yeah, it's what happens. That's what happens. So yeah, we got a couple of minutes. Anybody got anything exciting planned for their weekend? I'm gonna do some reviews. Oh, I know what I could share. But then again, I am asking if anybody's got anything exciting going on this weekend. So I just received Thieves' Den. It's from Daily Magic Games, and the fortune favors the bold. Favors fortunes the bold. What the hell am I thinking? Fortune favors the bold. A little expansion. I did a preview of Thieves' Den for its Kickstarter for Daily Magic. We liked it. It was fun. So I'm gonna bust this open and take a look at it. Probably get it to the table. I'm gonna start shying away from so many unboxing videos. I might maybe kind of stick to like the unboxing videos for like the war games and stuff. But I think some of this stuff, it's just because. Granted, I know at some point I'm going to be sitting there going, damn, I don't have anything to cover. What the hell? I'm out of stuff. But sometimes it's just like, wait, it's just too many videos. And it's, I don't know. I might like the page throughs for like big RPG releases and stuff. That I will continue to do too, because that does bring in the views. So that's kind of cool. So Dan says he's going mushroom hunting. All right, so do you have like a mushroom blind all set up and you got your mushroom call? So do you use like truffle bait? Mushroom hunting, that's pretty, and I have heard people doing that, so it's not, oh, wait a second, or is Dan talking about that new PC game that's out, where it's a hunting game, and you're actually hunting mushrooms. You're not hunting actual, animals and that. So I bet you that's what Dan's gonna be playing this weekend. Bet you that's what it is. I don't think Dan's really out there hunting mushrooms. Then again, he might be. I don't know. I have no idea. He's showing a little gumdrop, little face that has like no response to it. Just kind of like blank. So so Hubcam says, yes, count me in on Wargame unboxings. Yes, I like to do the Wargame unboxings. And I think a lot of people out there enjoy those too. So those, of course, are going to be standalone. So I do have some stuff coming. I'm going to shoot my RuneQuest review this weekend. I am going to shoot my Bricks review, which is a Stronghold game, roll and write. It's kind of themeless. Well, I guess it's not completely themeless. It's got kind of a Tetris vibe to it. We'll see how much time I got. I'm gonna do most of them tomorrow, so I'm gonna kick back and do most of these. No, I shouldn't say most. I got a lot of stuff backed up right now because I knew I was gonna do something with the camera. So, like I said, I want to get a Panasonic G85 because I hear great things about them, and it's not a crazy, insane $1,000 camera, but it is like 700 plus tax. Oh no, but it looks really good, really good. So, all right, that is it for tonight's show. Just figured I'd chew the fat with everybody so that it wasn't like, hey, I'm done with the news. I'm leaving. I'm out of here. So, everybody enjoy a wonderful weekend. Of course, as I like to point out, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com for all the latest in gaming news, reviews, comics, movies, TV. By now you know the drill. Get your geek on at thegaminggang.com. Of course, if you like the video, be sure to give it a little thumbs up. If you like the channel, be sure to subscribe and ring that little bell. So that way you're notified when new videos pop up, as well as when the stream goes live. So those of you out there who were hanging out on a Friday night for chat, thank you so much. Friday nights are weird. I'll start the show and I'll be like, is anybody going to actually be around? I mean, it is a Friday night. So, anyway, so everybody who was hanging out in chat, thank you so much. Of course, I know people watch live. They're usually watching on like TVs and stuff like that, so they can't get into chat. So I appreciate them watching live. And of course, if you watch after the fact, I appreciate that as well. I appreciate anybody who stops by and gives the show a watch. So have a wonderful weekend. I will be back on Monday. So until then, happy trails.
Thanks again for watching The Daily Dope, presented by The Gaming Gang. If you like this episode, be sure to give it a quick thumbs up. And if you dig the channel, please subscribe. If you'd like to check out our previous episode, click right here. And if you want to check out a somewhat randomly selected episode, give a click right down here. It'll be like opening a box of Cracker Jacks. You just don't know what you'll get. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'm Jeff McAleer.